Wife wants a divorce at 5 a.m. I'm a 30-year-old male, held a job since I was 16. College graduate married to a 27-year-old woman. We've been together since I was 21 and married nearly 4 years ago. With our combined funds by this age, we owned 3 houses, a black top truck, 30 acres, UTV, 2 garages, a barn, 50 goats, and 2 new Toyotas. We have both worked our hands to the bone. After COVID hit, my wife became upset that we weren't doing things anymore, but she couldn't understand that we couldn't do normal things because of mandates. Kentucky. I had a major health scare that went on for a year, turned out to be nothing harmful, but could have been cancer. So I was down, had to take antidepressants, and became extremely lethargic. I gained 60 pounds, but it still made sure things were done. After the year of depression and finally able to have an exam, came off of my medications and started back to my old self. Then we were hit with a major ice storm that left her stranded at work and me stranded at home. We live in the country and own the top of a mountain. When she was able to return home, things were different. She was exhausted from working 80-hour weeks which continued after the fact, and I picked up all the chores. I told her to come home and rest, and I'll do everything. A month later in March, she mentioned divorce, but I said, "Hey, wait. Let's work on this." She agreed and we continued on. Then 2 days ago, she went to a friend's house, 45-year-old female just fired and was out late on a work night. It was approaching 1 a.m., and she usually is home by 10 on any workday for sleep. I panicked because she was up a 1-lane road that is very curvy and covered with deer. I thought she wrecked, so I drove down the road she was at and did not see a wreck. Came home and called her and no answer. She ignores me until I called her parents and explained I was concerned. I didn't know if I should have the police look for her. 5 a.m. Her mother was able to get in touch with her, and she texted me and said she was coming home. When she arrives, I was of course angry and hurt that she didn't maintain contact. She says that I'm jealous, manipulative, controlling, and obsessed with money. On the money part, I'm a micromanager, have an 800 credit score, and I make sure we can have the things we both want. Within a few minutes, she says I want a divorce. And after an hour of talking, she would not budge. The next day I told her to spend time with friends. She came home, still wants a divorce. Then today, she went to work, came home, and said, "Let's file tomorrow." I told her that I respect her decision and would not force her to stay. She decided all she wants is $25,100, the dog, car, kayak, chickens, clothes, and some decorations in the house. Nothing more. She was angry that I mentioned it to my father, which is the only person I can talk to that won't spread it and will give me advice. And also said, "Well, even if I want to come back, I can't now because you told him." I ugly cried, and she left to her parents with 4 bags of clothes and miscellaneous items. I guess there's nothing really I can say from here. I don't know what advice there is, but I'm just scared. I suffer from seasonal depression, and I'm scared to be in winter alone. We get major snow dumps. And even with my 4x4 Tundra, roads can become impassable for weeks. I don't want to be alone, but I don't want her unhappy. Thanks for listening, and feel free to ask questions. I would love to talk. I'm 100% honest. Edit. I hope everyone can see this. Thank you all so much for giving me hope. All felt lost and that I had nothing to look forward to. But there is good to be found. If she is cheating, it will come out later. And at this point, be moot. I'll follow her wishes, get a lawyer quick, and sign the division of assets. Then do the waiting process. At this point, I don't feel I could take her back during the 60-day wait even if she decides she wants to come home. I am stronger. Thanks to all of you. Update 1. We are meeting a lawyer today at 4 p.m. Eastern, going to joint file and agree on everything. Does not want any trouble and does not want to be in court at all. Let's check in with some comments. This seems kind of off. Gustafetta says, "Yeah, I have to side with the others here. Total a cheater behavior. You don't have to be adversarial, but she is not your friend anymore. Gold hard business. You are a stickler for money? Use it. I agree. Get her request in writing. She is in the fog and it won't last. My lawyer helped me get things on paper because I was still like, no, he won't do that to me. But I got the dog and a good deal on paper when he was still in the fog. Enough to not care. All he wanted to do was make his emotional affairs physical. But be warned because the AP will start getting involved. And in their little minds, you are the one to beat. They will be in competition with you until the relationship ends. They will start pushing for more. They will take the harshness your soon-to-be ex shows you as a compliment to them. So get it in writing now, get a lawyer to fight your battles, and to make sure everything is watertight. Make your heart into a stone. It is too early now, but you will see you are better off without her. I have learned that people who are able to do something like this are terrible partners. They always were. We, as great partners, just didn't notice because we were fighting so hard to build a life. Fop14 says, it's exactly what happened to me as well. She started by saying she didn't want anything because she was moving in with the affair partner at his place. Then strangely enough, as the weeks and months progressed, it morphed into her wanting absolutely everything. I managed to get out without having to pay alimony. UK married for 20 plus years, but I lost my share of that house as part of the deal. Definitely a third party involved, though, as others have said, her sudden disappearance and communicado act and blame shifting when you reached out to your support network, it's almost as if I'd written it myself. Time to lawyer up. Focus on yourself and whatever happens, brother. Stay strong. Update 2. So day 2, follow up. We quickly had a lawyer. It is a joint file for divorce. He represents us both. We sat down and agreed to what each other wanted. Lawyer said he was surprised and that we were one in a million getting a divorce, saying we were educated and just wanted to move on with our lives. It wasn't working. When he said that, it clicked in my head. I now knew that I wasn't happy either. A small lie she had made, the resistance to doing anything. At the end, we were both satisfied with the assets and she even offered to take the debt for the UTV, but let me keep it. I declined. At this point, we had to wait in the lobby together for 30 minutes. She sat one chair beside me. She asked how I was doing and such. I could sense at this point she was feeling regret. Stupid me asked if she was 100% sure she wanted divorce, and she said she never was a 100% sure, and she was less sure now. Papers were then signed and notarized to be entered tomorrow and divorce complete by May 30th. With all that being said, I'm going to say pretty firm, but I have a sneaking suspicion she is going to want to back out of the divorce and try to come back. There's no way I will ever be sure if there was another guy or was another guy. And if that was true or I could some way know without a doubt, I would have no consideration whatsoever in the all-for divorce. But if I could know for sure without a doubt that she never did have someone else, then I would be conflicted on continuing the marriage. But ultimately, I believe it would just be prolonging the inevitable I finally ate just now. I really hadn't ate anything since Sunday. I'm feeling better. My mood has much improved. A huge thanks to you all again. Edit. I'm taking this time to be solo and separated. In a short time, I have done some soul searching. Plan to continue this and will keep everyone updated on any findings or events. I believe it will be mostly calm for a week or two. There will be a few times she will have to retrieve items for her sister's household shower. I remain silent towards her to make this peaceful. One quick comment from 21 Pathfinder before the next update. I'll just say this. My wife and I previously almost got divorced and all of her actions then in my gut instinct told me something was up. She cried and pleaded when I was ready to walk, and I, just like you, had to give it another shot since I didn't have concrete proof. Now years later, she definitely is cheating, and I've caught it. And I'm just being patient to get ducks in a row. Unfortunately, some people won't change once they've already crossed that line, even if it takes a while for them to do it again. Trust your gut. Cheaters have red flags that I'm sure you've picked up on. And imagining the possibility of your spouse being who she once was is a mistake, but not hard to do. Update 3. I am currently struggling at the moment with extreme turmoil. My body is in ketosis due to the inability to eat. I have lost 15+ pounds since the last week. I cannot understand why my mood changes so often. It goes from my water back to, but what if she's seeing someone? And then it will go to anger, as in, how can she do this to me? Then it will be, this is okay. I got this. I'll survive. I have anxiety and panic disorder, but I seem to be coping with the physical feelings well because I understand the cause. I also have quick-acting medications for my anxiety. I've had so many mixed signals. Our friends are all entwined. She's told them that she wants to make it work, but is scared. Calls me sometimes and tells me she loves me. But as soon as she's back at her apartment, it's just like, hey, take me off your cards as an authorized user so I can fix my credit. She is flipping back and forth so hard. The other issue is I'm starting to realize, although I gotta keep everything, I probably won't be able to handle paying for everything. And I don't want our house. $800 a month for 19 more years. It is something we agreed together would be our home. I can't sell it as I own the land, and it is not tied to the house mortgage. That is the only thing keeping me in a tight spot. I'm just struggling. This constant turmoil is so hard, and it's been little over a week. I do want my wife back. Her sister's wedding shower is this weekend. I was thinking about dressing up real nice, bringing a gift for her sister, and then leaving. I feel that should make a profound statement that should wreck everyone's heart. Her parents believe in me and don't trust her over me. Her dad wants to physically beat her and leave his wife of 30 years because of all this. He's been following her to work, trying to see what she's doing. It's just becoming a mess. One more quick comment before the final update. Ta 2019 followed by a bunch of X's says, quote, I cannot understand why my mood changes so often, end quote. I think it's because it's very difficult to come to terms with something like this. Your mind is desperately trying to understand it, fix it, somehow make it right, decipher it, solve it. You put everything you had into this relationship, but she decided to just give up on it nonchalantly without much concern at all. You tried so hard. This was your dream. This was your life's work. This was everything to you. You expected the same from her. It's like dealing with a death, but even worse. Death is something that happens and is normal. This is something that is just hard to put your mind around since it makes no sense. Take one day at a time. Best wishes to you. Final update. Well, boys and girls, it's happy my divorce finalized so quick because she backdated our separation date with the lawyer, so we're technically at day 60. I've had my ups and downs, but I've came to grips with the fact that it's her loss. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but what man is? I'm fully aware that there's more ups and downs to come in the future as it will probably take more time to set in. She left me with all of the investments in property, which was a lot of debt, but I came up with a solution for that. So I'm consolidating everything into one of the properties that will take all of the risk. Financially, I'll be better off than I have been, even pre-marriage. I've made a connection with a college friend. She's aware of the situation. So I'm assuming she's apprehensive. We've went out twice now and had an absolute blast both times and only went so far as to hug. I found parts of myself that were lost and I continue to find more. I'm generally happier and able to maintain things much easier, even though it takes a lot of time. Yeah, I may be lonely sometimes, but I know that everything is going to be okay. The guy that everyone has suspected her of leaving me for has been liking every post she has on Facebook. She is renting a place below my family's house, and they can look over the hill and see her staying at the neighbor's house a lot. Which is the suspected guy's best friend. I mean, overall, I don't know who she is anymore. Her drastic change has allowed me to just forget her. This will probably be my last post, but I will always be around for everyone to share things I've learned along the way. And the most important thing is if someone doesn't want you, you can't make them stay. Go your separate ways and fight your emotions.